Hey neighbor, how y'all doing today? Fantastic, I hope. I'm doing great myself. Thanks for asking. Well, welcome to my kitchen. As you can see, we're not outside today. It's supposed to be 105 today before the feels like temperature of 110. So yeah, I'm not going to kill myself over the grill today. I'm doing something inside. It's a little bit different. So I hope you're going to love this as much as I do. And it's a real treat. If you haven't never had a Texas baked potato before, um, everything's bigger in Texas. Well, that includes the baked potatoes. So you're probably thinking maybe this ain't anything special. Well, it's going to be. So let's start by taking a look at this. So this in itself is a treat. This is where we're starting. I have the potato and I have an Angus brisket. One of these and one of these. So this is Texas style baked loaded potato. Now, you can see where we started with. Let's take a look at the finished product. Fantastic, right? Now we're going to see how we get there. That's the rest of the movie. So stay tuned. Let's figure this out together. All right, the next step is putting the dry rub on the brisket. Now, before we do that, I just want to explain that what I'm trying to do here is to make a recipe that anybody can do. Now, you have to keep this a secret. This is very important that this doesn't get out. There's 49 other states besides Texas. I live in Texas, and this brisket was standard size for putting on your backyard smoker. It was a 15-pound. What I'm gonna do is considered sacrilege in Texas, but I cut that brisket into 3 5-pound sections, put 2 of those in the freezer, and I have the third one right here because I'm gonna do this smoked brisket in the oven. That's right, I said in the oven because I don't have a smoker and a lot of people out there in the country don't have smokers. I want everybody to be able to do this. So it's cooked slow and a long time in the oven, kind of like in a smoker, but it's done in the oven. So keep that low key between you and me, all right? Because I don't want to get run out of the state. So what I'm going to do now is show you the recipes going in to the dry rub, and then I'll put that on for you. So let's take a look down here and see what's going on the counter. I have brown sugar in the bowl, smoked paprika, dry mustard, garlic powder, onion powder, salt, cumin, dried basil, thyme, and a little bit of cayenne pepper. I've covered the cutting board in plastic wrap, so after I put the dry rub on the brisket, we can just wrap that up. I have to put it back in the refrigerator for another 24 hours, 12 to 24 hours. We're going to put it in overnight, and then I'm going to put this in the oven tomorrow morning. So let's get the dry rub on. That was easy. All right, dry rub is applied. Next step, we'll come back, put that right in the oven. It's 5 a.m. Sunday morning. The drink of the day is coffee. Much needed. I just took the brisket out of the refrigerator. I'm going to put this in a broiler pan. I have it on a rack right here. Putting it in a broiler pan. Going to cover that tightly with foil. And we're going to put that in the oven. Start. Okay, that's in the oven, 300 degrees for the first 3 hours. 3 hours, we're going to take it out, turn it over, and cover it with a little bit of sauce. While that's cooking, we're going to make the sauce. Brisket's cooking, let's prepare the sauce. I'm going to cut up some celery. Green pepper. Onion. Three cloves of garlic. Tablespoon of canola oil. 3 tablespoons Worcestershire sauce. 3 tablespoons vinegar. Half a cup of ketchup. 3 cups beef broth. All right, that's all the ingredients. We're going to heat this on the stove, stir it, heat it up, and turn this into a sauce. The sauce is on the stove. While the sauce is simmering, we're going to prepare the baked potatoes for the oven. We're going to start with more coffee. All right, coffee out of the way. We need to poke holes in the baked potato. The reason we do this is so they don't explode in the oven. Now, we're going to butter the skins. We're going to cover them in salt and pepper. Now we're just going to set those aside. With the potatoes all done and set aside, when the time comes, we'll put those in the oven. All right, guys, the timer just went off. That's been the first 3 hours on the brisket. So this is going to be the hard part. I'm going to take this out of the oven, going to set it here in front of me. We're going to flip it over and pour some of that sauce we made over the top, cover it again, and put it back in the oven for another 2 hours. Let's take the foil off of there. This looks delicious. Now I flipped it over. I have the side with the least fat up, and I'm going to pour the sauce over that. What we're doing is actually pouring about half of this sauce over, and we're going to set half aside. This has all the vegetables and spices that we cooked, garlic, everything going over the top of that. All right, we set that half of pan of sauce back on the stove. The heat's off. We're just going to let it rest there until we're ready to use that again. We're going to do more with that later. I'm going to cover this back up, get it back in the oven. That's in the oven. So I'm going to put those potatoes in, and I'll check them in an hour and a half or so, hour and a half to 2 hours. All right, potatoes are in the oven. Now, 2 ways we can check those. We can put a fork in them and see if they're soft to the feel, to the touch, or we can put a thermometer in them. They should read about 210 degrees. So we'll check those later. All right, so I have the brisket back in the oven, potatoes are in the oven, and we're gonna do the next step in about another 2.5 hours. We'll see you then. All right, the timer just went off, so I'm about to take the brisket out of the oven. I took it out a half hour ago, took the foil off so it can crust up a little bit on top, and I checked the baked potatoes. They need a little bit more time anyway, so they're still in the oven. But the oven's off, and I'm gonna take the brisket out. We'll have a look at that. we'll stick that in. Look at that, falling apart. It's hot, but it's falling apart. All right, so we're gonna cover this. So the potatoes are done, the briskets are done, and I hope you guys are as ready for this as I am. So we're gonna look down at the camera on the counter, and I'm gonna slice up some brisket right now. So the brisket has rested for 30 minutes. The sauce is done, the brisket's done, the potatoes are done. Let's see how this goes. Cutting across the grain. Some nice thin slices. That should be perfect. Put that on the platter. All right, I'm going to slide this meat to the side. I have 2 baskets here. One potato, 2 potato. Now, we cut this open, just down the center. And we're going to spread this. Yeah, like that. Whew, it's hot. Step 1, put a ton of butter. Salt and pepper. A healthy handful of grated cheese. I have bacon bits. I cooked bacon earlier, crumbled it. Real live bacon bits. No fake bacon here. Sour cream. Use a squeeze bottle. Sour cream. Green onion. This one's my wife's. She likes it chopped. Take it sliced. That sauce I told you I made, I'm gonna pour that right over the top. Can you all see these baked potatoes? This is baked potato. Texas style. All right, how did that look? That looks great, right? So before I eat lunch, before we go, I have got a couple of things I want to talk to you about. Guys, my eyes are up here. Thanks, appreciate that. Guys, my eyes are up here. There we go, nice to see you again. I know that food looks great, and I'm dying to dig into it because this brisket looks delicious. So actually, let's try this. You know what? I hope you can smell this through the camera. I wish you could taste this. God. Okay. All right. I gotta eat lunch here in a minute. But before I go, I want to give a shout out. I got a couple of new subscribers, which I always appreciate, especially when they leave their name like these guys did. They rang the bell so I can see who they are. So I want to say hi to, I've got Wolfpack Radio, Sweetwater Sue, Wonky Artist. I think Wonky Artist, you're in Arizona, right? And correct me if I'm wrong on that. I have Mystic Maiden, and I have Cheryl in East Texas. So if I missed anybody, let me know. They rang the bell when they subscribe so I can see who they are. So to me, you're not just subscribers, now we're new friends. And if you have any questions about anything, leave me a message. You can get me on my YouTube. You know what social media I'm on. So hit me up on the social media. Ask questions about the recipe. Ask questions about anything. We're now family. We're now friends. This is my backyard cooking in the kitchen today, but normally backyard. It's friends and neighbors. Friends, family, neighbors. So we're all family here. We're going to dig into this lunch. I'm going to enjoy it. I hope you guys try the recipe now. But if you see anything that I've used, any utensils, the knife, I put a link for that so you can buy that on Amazon or from their website, different things like that. So like I said, if you have any questions, need any more information, if I left something out, give me a shout. All right, well, I finished my lunch. Everything's cleaned up. And I just want to say thank you again to all my new friends. And I hope that all you guys enjoyed the video. I hope that you try that recipe. Like I said, I wanted to do a brisket that anybody can do in their home kitchen. And it came out fall apart tender. It was absolutely delicious. I'm absolutely stuffed. So I'm about to take a nap. But before I go, I just want to, again, remind everybody, if you enjoyed the video, if you like watching my outdoor cooking, my backyard cooking, or here in the kitchen, please give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Until then, I'll see you next week. Thanks again.